Well, hello there. My name is nirv. Today I'm going to show you how to run your own battlenet server. Yes, the full thing. This was pretty hard to do, but it was a lot of fun, and I finally got it working, and a lot of games work with this. Right now you see on the screen 2 Diablos, and on the right side we got Warcraft 2. Let's log in. Actually, on one Diablo, let me type /watch nirv3. And it's going to keep an eye out for when nirv 3 comes online. So let's log in battlenet here, my own battlenet. As you see, it says watched user nirv 3 has entered the realm. Let me join a channel here. I'll join a channel called nirv. Let's log out of Diablo 3. You can play co-op. It works on LAN, it works on internet, and more importantly, closed games work in Diablo. If you don't know what that is, that means your Diablo characters are saved on the realm. It's very cool to have this. Now, I definitely know that running your own Battle.net server is not going to be as popular as a World of Warcraft server, for instance, but I still think it's important knowledge to have. As of right now, as of 3/25/2025, there is no working guide on the internet for this at all. There's various pieces of information, but you basically have to know quite a bit to put it all together and get it working. So I did all that work. It took me 3 straight days to finally get it to work. I wanted to just show how kind of cool this is. I'm going to join that channel nirv, and let's have the other guy, because that has built-in chat. It has mailing. You can actually send mail to people. And let's join nirv on the 3rd account. So it's kind of cool. You can see him down here. Now let's open up another one. What is this? What do we got here? We got Warcraft 3. Yep, it works with Warcraft 3 as well. I told you this was cool. I'm going to make a new account here called nirv4. Just testing things out. Okay, account has been created. Let's log in. It's going to ask for my email. You don't have to put yours. I just put no@no.com. And then I'll kind of talk about why you want to do this. So let me enter chat here. What did I call it? Just nirv /join nirv. Okay, yep, we're all in the same room, but check this out. That right there is like it looks like an orc on a wolf or something, or a night elf on a wolf or something. That's really cool. I thought that was awesome, man. You can all join the same chat channel. I remember when Diablo 2 came out in 2000, June of 2000. I actually had it earlier than stores could sell it. I had a pirated copy, of course. And I remember when Battle.net finally went live, it was just full of players. And I never really looked at the characters here at the bottom. And usually the majority of them were from Diablo, not from other Blizzard games. And so the fact that you can see different characters depending on what game they're playing, and you're in the same chat room, I thought that was just kind of neat. Again, you can send a piece of mail. I'll send mail, send nirv, hi asshole. Okay, so it can work online and offline. So you type mail, read. Now I got 2 messages. Mail, read, 00. Mail, read, 01. Nothing but threats and insults. It just makes me appreciate that people did the work to make this available. It was called originally StarHack, and then it was called BnetD, and then Blizzard sued them over this and actually won. And then that turned into, I think, PvPGN, which I don't really like the name PvPGN, but you know, it gets the job done. Here's one of the GitHub pages, PvPGN. You could scroll down and see what games it supports. Warcraft 2, here's the versions it supports. Warcraft 3, the expansion for Warcraft 3, and here's all the versions it supports. StarCraft, Brood War, Diablo 1, actually, which surprised me because I never played Diablo 1 over Battle.net, but you can actually get into the Battle.net screen using this method. Diablo 2, of course, all these different versions, and it even supports Command & Conquer, Red Alert 2, Command & Conquer Yuri's Revenge, Dune. It supports just multiple games. I haven't honestly got Red Alert working. I haven't tried all that much. I did try a little bit, but if anybody gets that working, you get Red Alert working, please comment below and let's get that going, because I love Red Alert too. Check this out. Battle.net working with StarCraft. That is so interesting. I did not know that a little character comes up like that. I'm just happy that I got this working. It was not easy to get working. To get this working with both open and closed characters, if you look here, it says current realm in Diablo right here. Well, this is a closed realm. What does that mean? In Diablo 2, that means that the character is saved on the server rather than on your computer locally. So when you make a game and you go in there, this is actually saved on the server side now. And that's one of the reasons people played on Battle.net, is because they wanted to play closed Diablo characters, because like World of Warcraft, the character is saved on the server. And for some reason, I guess that means it's more significant for people. Now, what's great about hosting this version, this Battle.net server, is you can either have it set up like the real Battle.net, where it automatically updates the clients that connect to you. Yes, believe it or not, I want to say that again. You can have it set up to send a patch out to people who are not on the right version of your server. Like, so let's say, for instance, you want all Diablo 2 players connecting to you to be updated to the 1.14D. Well, you can do a check and see what version they have. If they don't have the latest version, you can send out a patch, just like the real Battle.net server did. Or, again, you can just leave it as it is and let basically anybody on any one of these supported versions log on and play. So again, that gives you the power to do things. It's pretty interesting. The most significant thing about my guide here is that it uses Docker. And in the past, I've talked a lot of shit about Docker. And generally, it's not something I really like to use. However, in this case alone, it allows you to run 2 different operating systems in Linux. Diablo 2 closed games, it requires a Windows server. So we're using Docker to use Wine in Linux and emulate a Windows server. So it actually works. So rather than a lot of people running this on Windows, or some in Linux, some in Windows, like these 3 are Linux basically, we can all run it in one server right here. It's a beautiful thing. This was not easy to do. But anyway, screw all this crap. Let's shut this down and get started on the guide. So just before we get started, let's look at kind of the connectivity here and how it works. Holy crap. This is part of the reason it was difficult. This is kind of a convoluted way. I mean, I've run a lot of game servers in the past, and this was by far the most difficult to get running, just because how much work and how much different components there are that are working together to make it connect. As you can see, these IP addresses and all that crap. That's why it took me 3 days basically to gather all the information, try all sorts of things. It was hell. And I went through that hell for you so we can make this really easy. You should be able to do this in one go. All right, here we go. We got a brand new Debian 12 Linux, and we are using a container. It took me a while to confirm it, but I confirmed that this server actually works both in containers and virtual machines. What do I mean by container? That's basically just like Proxmox. They have little containers here that you can create in virtual machines that are a little bit different. I won't go into that right now. I'm just going to start this guide and let's get rolling on it. All right, we're going to start right here with installing Docker. It's just one at a time here. One line at a time we're doing. Takes a little bit. Okay. All right. Now this part, you can do these 4 lines from echo to dev null. And then just this apt update here. Okay. And now we are actually installing Docker with this line. As I said, I've never really been a big fan of Docker, but in a couple cases it can be useful, like this. I don't want to have Windows installed in Linux and have to use 2 different servers to have my Battle.net emulator working. So that is kind of the benefit of Docker in this case. This was a little tricky to do, so here we go we're going to start installing PvPGN and the Diablo 2 files. Alright, we're going to change directly to PvPGN. We just did a git clone, and now we're going to do this Docker build. And this is going to take a little bit, so I will pause it and come back and we'll just wait. Okay, once that's done building, we have to copy a couple files from the Docker container to our host machine, and that's that. Now here's one of the scripts I made that will actually go download a lot of the required files, and we'll come back when this is finished. Okay, and once all those files sent over, you actually have to do this touch command. Because believe it or not, I found out if you don't have this d2gs.log file, even if there's nothing in it, even if it's empty, if you don't have it, your Diablo 2 server won't even start. It's that sensitive. So you have to basically follow all these commands. Okay, now once we have all those files, we're still in this PvPGN folder. We're going to do IPA just to see what our IP is. Here's mine right here, 192.168.1.156. So I'm just going to put that right here so I can copy and paste it easily. Now we have to edit these 5 config files. I'm going to show you each one and what you have to edit exactly. You have to use your internal IP and paste it here. Even if you're going to be playing multiplayer, online multiplayer, you're going to open it to the internet, we have to set your LAN IPs first. And here's how you do it. I have all the information right here. And if you're confused still, I have this link right here. When you click it, you can see exactly, if you scroll down to the setup, it tells you right here which config file you have to change to get it working. So you can follow that or you can follow me. Alright, so let's start with this first one. We're going to edit the d2cs.config right there. Alright, here's what you change here. You scroll down. If you want to change the name of your realm, you got to do it up there, but I would leave it default first and then try things later. Okay, put it there where it says game server list. Then right here, we're going to delete this bracket here and paste it right here. So it's your internal IP, :6112. And then you got to scroll down until you find password. There it is right there. Game server password. And I'm going to leave it default. PvPGN rocks. That's what the default password is. Okay, this is d2dbs.config. And the only thing you have to change here is right here, the game server list. Delete all this crap and just put your IP. Done. For the realm.config, you have to take out the pound sign on the far left. You hit delete and you get rid of that pound sign. And then you put your IP here at the end, 168.1.156, :6113. All right. Now we have to edit the d2gs.reg file. Same thing, 192.168.1.156. Oops, I put it in wrong. All right, you got to put it in right. And same thing, where it says the secret, PvPGN rocks right here. All right, so there you go. d2server.ini. I just search warden equals and I find enable warden. It's on 1 by default. Just change that to 0. Save it. And now we're done with the config files. We have to remove the compose file that comes with it, and we're going to make a new Docker compose from scratch. And you start at this pound sign where it says version 2.0 and just highlight all of it all the way down to where it says unless stopped. You copy it, right click, and paste it in. That's our new Docker file. Okay, now we're going to quick make our aliases and we're ready to start the server. So we're going to do this nano bash rc and we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And we're going to take these aliases right here, right click, same thing, Control O, enter, Control X. And then you got to hit the source command. All right, ready? I'm going to type the word start. All right, to verify your server is running, you type docker space ps. And you can see it's up. All of them are up. So what we do is let's load up Warcraft 3, and if we can connect to Warcraft 3, that'll make sure that Warcraft 3 works, and we'll also connect to Diablo 2 as well. Now, the thing you have to do when you set up your server for the first time, you do have to open this program called BnetGateway Editor, and it allows you to change the IP address of your battlenet. As you can see at the bottom, there's StarCraft, Diablo, and Warcraft 3. So for Warcraft 3, I'm going to go to this chosen one. Actually, let's delete this one, just because there should be nothing here when you first come here. So we're going to add gateway. I'm just going to type nirv, doesn't matter the name, zone 1, and then the IP, which is 192.168.1.156. And you can detect gateway to see if it connects, and it says, yep, it connected. So we're going to set that to the chosen gateway, and we can close this. And now we're going to open up our Warcraft 3 here. And we're going to go to battlenet. And we're going to have to make a new account, because we just started this server. nirv. Okay. Log in. no@no.com. no@no.com. Okay. We are in. So I'm going to type /watch nirv2 because I'm going to make that account. Oh, the user doesn't exist. Okay. So for Diablo, again, the same thing. You have to do it just one time. Set the IP just one time. You don't have to do it every time. So here's the gateway. 1.156. Set the gateway. You can close it. And we're ready to connect. Create account. Agree. nirv2. Okay, no@no.com, no@no.com. And I'm going to hit register. Create character. This is for LAN. I'm going to show you how to do internet play as well. It's just a couple config changes. Okay, so let's type /watch nirv2. All right, now we can actually watch nirv2, and we can see what he's going to do. And we're going to make a new game, and he's going to join a game. It'll alert you, no matter what game you're playing, what another player is doing on Battle.net. Pretty interesting, huh? I like that. You can whisper each other, you can send shit, send mail back and forth. And so we're in, and that's it. The server's up and running, and this is a closed account. And I can type game info, and it'll tell you right here, Diablo 2 closed, meaning it saves your character on the server. Now this is all for LAN play. If you want to make it open to the internet, you have to make a couple changes. Now I have that listed in the guide down here, right here, to open up Diablo 2 for internet play. So let's do that curl icon has IP. Let's clear the screen. All right, so I'm just going to take my IP here, and I'm going to put it right here. You have to port forward 2 ports to that internal IP. So what was my internal IP? Here it is. So I'd have to go to my router, and I'd have to go to port forwarding, and down here I would actually have to just do right here and right here. Port 4000 and port 6112. And then I would save it and reboot my router. And then the config files, you have to change a couple config files to get it working on the internet. We got to modify this address translation. I would recommend you type stop to stop your server before you modify. Okay, and then we're going to modify. This is called the address translation table. And you have to scroll down to Diablo 2 character server translation. That's Warcraft 3. There's Diablo 2 character server translation. Okay, you have to uncomment this, and then it has to be your server computer 156, and then your external IP. I'm just going to put nirv.mu.com. Okay, that's it for that. So this could also be your external IP, your 24 dot whatever, like I put right here. But it also could be a name server if you have one. So then here's the Diablo 2 server game server translation, as it says right here. So this has to be, again, your internal IP 156, and then your external IP nirv.mu.com. Okay, and that should be it. This is the Westwood Online server down here. So just hit start again, and in Diablo now we can change our IP, Battlenet here, and we're going to modify the gateway to nirv.mu.com, and then detect it, and it's connected. So here we go. We are open to the internet now with Diablo 2. There we go. We're connected to the nirv.mu. It works. There you go. I'm freaking tired. I'm going to sleep. Good night. By the way, if you wanted to play Warcraft 3 over the internet, or even locally, there are a couple things you have to do with that. With the patch, and you have to get this Warcraft 3 loader and copy a couple files over, and that's how you do Warcraft 3. Now, that's as far as I know. And I have some other little commands you can put down there. So I'm going to include all this stuff in a package, and there you go. Good night.